Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dana and today I have for you pasta with chicken dish baked in the oven. I'm gonna start with homemade pasta, for which I need 80 grams of flour, 1 egg, some salt and 1 or 2 tablespoons of water. If you don't want to make pasta yourself, you can buy lasagna pre-made already, the pasta. Put flour on the table, make a well in the center with your fingers, and we're gonna accommodate there 1 egg. Add salt over the egg because I want the noodles to have a taste. I'm gonna add water. I do everything by eye by now because I made pasta so many times, but 1 or 2 tablespoons of water will be more than enough for these. And with the fork I'm gonna bring flour from the proximity of the egg, from the inside wall of this fountain that I made over here, mixing with egg and water until these resemble scrambled eggs. And now I use this scraper to bring all the flour in the middle, mix it in with egg and water. Use my hands to knead the dough and bring everything together. I want the dough to be nice and firm, and I make sure to incorporate all the flour that's left on the table. Wrap it up in cling film and let it rest at room temperature for about 30 minutes. But as I said, you can buy lasagna noodles if you don't want to do this step. Now for the chicken filling, I have 500 grams of chicken breast that I'm gonna use for my recipe, 1 onion, 2 cloves of garlic, salt, pepper, sweet paprika, basil, onion powder, 200 grams of chopped tomatoes. You can use 2 tomatoes if that's what you have. I'm gonna use this jar that I have here, about 200 grams. And because I really love pesto, I'm gonna add 1 generous teaspoon of pesto. I'm not gonna grind the chicken meat, but I'm gonna make sure to chop it up with a knife in small pieces. And by doing this, the meat will cook faster, evenly, and also the dish will look really nice. This is how the meat looks like. Now chop the onion as fine as you can. Do the same with garlic. Use a pan to start cooking this chicken. I spray just a tiny bit of olive oil, and when the pan is heated up, I add the meat and toss it in until it's cooked and it's not gonna be pink anymore. And while it's cooking, I'll add salt, pepper, all the ingredients that I showed you, all the spices and condiments that I showed you in the beginning. I don't measure the spices, I just add until my eyes feel that it's just the perfect amount. Added paprika. Now I'm gonna add basil, onion powder, Cook the meat until it starts to get a bit brownish. That means it's gonna have lots of taste. Add over onions and garlic and cook those together with the meat until the onions are getting softer. Add after that tomatoes and let all this cook for a few minutes. And at the end I add my lovely pesto. This is why I try not to add too much salt, because pesto is pretty salty. Next I'm gonna make a sauce, a white sauce. I'm not gonna make bechamel, but I'm gonna use cottage cheese, 180 grams of cottage cheese, 200 grams of fresh farmer's cheese or ricotta, 100 milliliters of milk, about 25 grams of parmigiano or grana padano, half a teaspoon of flour to bring together the sauce, a bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, again basil, garlic powder and onion powder. I will put all of these in my NutriBullet cup, and I'm starting with cottage cheese. We're gonna make a yummy sauce, rich in protein. Add now farmer's cheese over. So lots of healthy fats in this dish and lots of proteins as well. Add grana padano or parmigiano that I grated on a finer with a finer grater. Milk and all the spices, flour and the rest of the spices that I showed you. A pinch of salt, pepper, lots of it because I really love it. Onion powder, basil and garlic powder. I spray just a tiny bit of olive oil, and using NutriBullet I'm gonna combine everything together and have a really lovely creamy smooth sauce. Now let's prepare the pasta. The dough, we already made it and is rested now. I'm gonna take it off from the cling film, and we need flour because we don't want the dough to get stuck in the pasta attachment. I'm gonna flatten it up with a rolling pin, fold it a few times to strengthen it, but make sure to use a lot of flour because you don't want it to either get sticky like you see here on my rolling pin or in pasta attachment. I have my KitchenAid ready, and I'm gonna start with a thicker setting, running through each setting twice, and I'm gonna make it nice and smooth, and you're gonna see it's gonna look absolutely amazing. And I'm gonna use it for my casserole today. So every time running through thinner and thinner settings until it's looking like this. You can let it dry if you have time. I didn't. I just split it in 4 equal parts using this roller. I also I'm gonna use some fresh mozzarella, about 125 grams, also some parsley and a bit more of parmigiano or grana padano, that hard cheese. Let's assemble the dish now. At the base I'm gonna put a few tablespoons from the white sauce. Use a heat resistant dish. Smooth that sauce at the base. Add 1 of the noodles that I just made. Add chicken and tomato sauce over, and I'm gonna add on top of these white sauce, and so on, alternating everything: noodles, white sauce, and chicken and tomato sauce, until we're gonna finish them all. You can add in between some fresh mozzarella, add again pasta. I didn't cook the pasta separately, it is fresh, so it's gonna cook with the rest of the ingredients, with all these delicious sauces that I made. So if you make fresh pasta, you can use it right away. If you buy lasagna noodles, make sure that you read the instructions if you have to boil the noodles before you use them. Preheat the oven in the meantime at 180 Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit, because we're gonna need to bake this dish. Finish everything with noodles, chicken sauce, white sauce, mozzarella, and at the end grated parmigiano, and bake this in the oven, as I said, for about 25 minutes. I sprinkle some fresh parsley because I really love it. I grate now the cheese on top. And let's bake these. And look how nice and bubbly it is. Smells absolutely delicious. So I hope you're gonna try this recipe. It's pretty simple and easy and absolutely delicious. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'm gonna see you here next time with another recipe. Until then, 5 reasons to smile. And one thing that I want to tell you, healthy food like the one that I made today can taste pretty amazing.